Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Food with Dottie. Last week on the show, we made eggplant pasta because, like I said, we have an overabundance of eggplant in our garden right now. You guys sent me in your photos from Twitter and Instagram. You did a great job. I especially liked one of you sent in your version of it, and you used a little mousse-shaped pasta. It was super cute. Today we're making Ghanoush, which is a dip. It's a Middle Eastern dip, but it's also an Armenian dip, which is my heritage, something I grew up eating, and I love it. It's a great way to use up a lot of eggplant. So we have been grilling for over an hour these eggplant right here, and they're just now getting super soft. And you can make baba ganoush by cooking the eggplant in the oven, but to get that really smoky, fiery taste, I suggest grilling it. So the first thing I did was I punctured the eggplant, threw it in the grill, and waited for about an hour. But you want to make sure it's as soft as possible because that's the texture you want it to be for the dip. Alright, so these are nice and smoky. Let's get started. So in order to make dip that's going to serve 3 to 4 people, you want to make sure that you use at least 2 large eggplants. I had all different sizes, so I used 4, 2 little ones and 2 medium ones. And we want to grill it for about an hour, but ideally you want it to be nice and mushy like this. It has to easily come out of the skin with a spoon. Otherwise, just throw it on for longer because you don't want to have to work too hard. See how all the meat is easily coming out with a spoon? It's exactly how you want it. So this one's perfect. I had to throw a couple of the other ones back on the grill because they weren't quite ready. It's okay if a couple pieces of skin fall in. Just pick them out. Set them aside. Put all of that pulp into a strainer because eggplants have a ton of water in them and you don't want the dip to be watery. So I've drained a lot of the water, and now I'm going to add this to a separate bowl. And we can start adding our other ingredients. Okay, here is the part where you really need to think about your own taste buds. Typically, baba ganoush is really garlicky, so I am going to suggest adding about 3 medium cloves of garlic, really finely minced, to your eggplant. But if you don't like too much garlic, you can add a little bit less, or if you're feeling adventurous, do a little more. In my own dip, I'm going to do 4 cloves of garlic because we like garlic around here. My fingers perpetually smell like garlic because I'm using it every day in all of my meals, chopping it up. So yeah, make sure you cut it really finely. You can definitely make this dip in a food processor, but I wanted to show you how to make it without one in case you don't have one. And the last time I made it, I just didn't use a food processor. I made it all by hand, and it was great. So you definitely don't need one. But yeah, make sure your garlic is chopped up really finely, just so you don't get huge chunks of it in there. Next, we're going to add the juice from 1 lemon. We're going to start with 1 lemon. But again, some people like more lemon juice or less, so just do it to your own personal taste. Okay, we're going to mix in the lemon and the garlic really well until it becomes kind of a paste. You want to make sure you get rid of any huge chunks. If you see a big chunk of eggplant, just pick it out or try to chop it up or mush it with a spoon. And once we have that mixed all together really well, we can add our next ingredients. Our olive oil and our tahini sauce. I'm using 1/3 cup of olive oil, but just add a little bit at a time. Add a little bit and then mix it because you don't want it to get too liquidy. So if it starts to get too liquidy, don't add any more, but if not, go ahead and add the whole 1/3 cup. Alright, now we can add our tahini sauce. If you're not familiar with tahini sauce, it's roasted sesame seeds. It tastes really good. You can usually find it in the Asian section at the grocery store in that aisle, but it's all over the place. It's kind of hard to find, but just ask for tahini sauce. This is what it looks like right here. It's got a really distinct taste. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons to the mixture. I'm going to mix in 1 tablespoon at a time. I tasted mine, and I think it only needed 2 tablespoons of tahini. But just make sure you're tasting all the way through, just to make sure nothing gets too strong. And now I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt. You're going to want to taste that as well. Just add more if you need it. This is just about done. All I'm going to do to garnish it is just drizzle a little bit of olive oil, put a little bit of smoked paprika on top, and then some freshly chopped parsley that I just made. And I take it outside with my pita chips and enjoy my fresh baba ganoush. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Food with Dottie. If you missed last week's episode, you can click the link right here and check it out. Or if you just want to see some other recipes, make sure to check out my Dottie Gallagher channel. I hope you guys have fun with this recipe, and I will see you next week.